Yeah, press conference, SEC media days were fun. I think, the read is on Brian Kelly that I think he's excited. I think he's up. I think more so with anything. I think Brian Kelly is up for the challenge of this season. I think he understands that this is a year where this is going to be a good football team. I would be shocked if LSU really falls off a cliff and has like a 6, 7, 5-win season. I think the odds of that are I think there's a better chance of LSU winning the national title than them falling off and being like a 5, 6-win team. So I think Brian Kelly understands that they have a chance to do something special here, but a lot of things need to come into place. Some things there's going to need to be some bounces of the ball to go their way. If you ever look at teams that win the national championship, a lot of times there's fortunate bounces. And I don't always like to use the cliche, it's better to be lucky than good, because I think if you're good, a lot of times if you're really that good, you're just that good. Like LSU in 2019, they were just that good. They didn't really need luck. But if you look at I guess this isn't the best example because they didn't win it all, but 2013 Auburn had a couple miracle plays. The kick six, the tipped pass that was caught for a touchdown. I know Auburn didn't win it. That's not the best example, but the point I'm trying to make is to get to a national title game, sometimes it's going to need some luck. And kind of like the Alabama game, not that the 2-point conversion necessarily was lucky, but you're going to need – it's lucky in the sense that if they don't get it, obviously if they don't get it, they lose the game. So you're going to need some breaks to go in your favor. And you're going to need to beat Georgia as far as, I've talked about this with other LSU fans on Reddit. If you look both teams on paper, Georgia appears to be the better team. So if you're going to beat a team that's better than you on paper, you're going to have to play your best game. So hypothetically, if they do play Georgia, that's not set in stone because they would have to meet in the SEC championship, but it's a likely scenario. I mean, it was the case last year. So LSU is going to need to play their best game most likely on that day, unless Georgia really has a season where they just kind of not really I have a hard time believing Georgia will fall off, but say Georgia takes a step back, I think that would be the case where LSU could beat them. A step back, it's Georgia. The step back for Georgia is probably they still win the East. Maybe they come in with a loss or two, but yeah, LSU. Point, I guess, case in point, it's going to be a tough game to beat Georgia. It's going to be tough. They're going to have, it's going to be a tough. They're going to have at least 2-3 tough games that, you have to be mentally prepared for. You have to bring your A game. You cannot. I was going to say sleepwalk, not sleepwalk, but you can't just show up and come. You can't just show up, be prepared. You got to show up, be prepared, and bring an edge to you to win some of these games. It's going to start week 1 against Florida State. And I like what Brian Kelly said. Florida State's going to be a great challenge, but also we're going to present a great challenge for Florida State. I like when coaches say that too. It's kind of like, you ever play fantasy football? A lot of guys that own receivers say, "Oh, I have a wide receiver. He's playing Jalen Ramsey. That's a tough matchup." Well, you can also look at it the other way. That's Jalen Ramsey has a tough matchup with that good fantasy football wide receiver. Say it's Mike Evans, Julio Jones. If you own those guys in fantasy football, that's how Brian Kelly looks at it. Florida State's gonna have a tough matchup with LSU. They're gonna present a tough matchup for Florida State. Thanks for tuning in to Bayou Bengals football. Make sure to stay tuned for more episodes of clips from the show. Till next time, peace.